I'm Sophia. I'm a German filmmaker with Haitian roots. And I'm a producer based in Berlin and working for Studio Hamburg, which is quite a big German company and overload of, in total, 12 companies itself. And I work at a company called Letterbox. Yeah.
Hi, so my name is Jessica C. I'm an actress based in Berlin, and I'm part of the BIPOC Alliance and part from Black Filmmakers. And yeah, I'm also do screenwriting, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm a Nigerian German actor based in Berlin. Started this 3 years ago, first production for Disney Plus, and now 3 years later, here we are in Cannes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wesley Howard. I'm a director from Germany, actually from Nuremberg in Germany. And I have a small production myself, indie production. And I'm also a producer, co-producer, director, sometimes acting, but I'm more comfortable behind the camera.
Well, thank you all so much for that. So I should say I am originally from the States. My name is Klare, but I am out of London at the moment, and I am a writer-producer. And I ran a small production company during my time in LA, which was focusing on African diaspora and sort of African stories told through non-traditional lenses. One moment. There we are. But I should say that I also have a deep passion for Germany itself. It was the first country that I lived outside of the States. I learned German very briefly. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen, aber nicht fließen. And it really had the first sort of passion for me to excite my ideas of travel. And I found my home very much in Berlin, where I lived for about 2 years or so. And through my own filmmaking, I actually have a TV series I'm working on with Natasha. I'm not sure if you know the person's name. She works, yeah, precisely. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, precisely. So super nice. So through London Film School, I was able to meet Natasha Kelly through Afro Berlin, the equivalent in Berlinale. And I'm actually working with her for a TV series, hopefully in the near future. So you may see more of me in the future. But I just want to sort of touch on the things you guys are working on, passion projects, things that are in development, things that are ready to be released. And if anyone has anything to speak on in particular, you can take it.
Should I start? Okay. Well, I'm working on several projects. I actually just shot my first feature film 3 weeks ago.
There you go.
Which was pretty wild. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I did this with a small production together. And yeah, we shot the feature film in 4 days, which is wild because we shot it like as long sequences, like a one-taker. And that was pretty challenging. But I'm glad we done it. And yeah, I hope it turns out good. It will. And yes, on the other projects I'm working is one series actually that I'm working with a big production, but it's not. I don't want to drop the name yet. It's not sealed yet. But and on another feature film with Wild Bunch. Yeah, we've been developing for a little bit over a year now, and yeah, we're looking forward to sell it now.
Super, well done.
Thanks.
Anyone else want to speak on that?
Yeah, so my last feature movie has been with a production company from Malta. That was my first international production, and it was really great experience. And my next project will also be international with an author from Uganda. And it will be a horror movie. I never done horror before, so I can't wait to scream and run away and fight and yeah, be wild.
Yeah, my next project, fingers crossed, will also be a horror movie, actually. I'm into horror myself, always been. My mom is also in the movie industry as a hair and makeup artist and mostly doing SFX now. So grew up with torn legs and arms and scars and everything in between. So I would love to do that myself. And we've been developing a horror movie called Sirens about, and Netflix is actually publishing a series called Sirens next week. So good on us. Haha. And it's about 5 friends, being in a house next to the German coast, and things go wrong because one of them is turning into a mermaid. So it's a kind of a body horror experience from a female perspective. Yeah.
My last release is for German TV. It's a kid production. It's called Echt Friends. It's the second, episode. And I'm actually playing a successful Afro-German architect. I have a black woman. I have a healthy family. My movie daughter is the main character. And we literally just changed the narrative, hopefully, for all the POC kids in Germany and all over the world. They're able to watch it, to see that there's also like a Afro-German success story and not like a divorce or the father is a drug dealer or he came as a refugee, or we know all the stories. We changed that. I have a mansion. I'm successful. My wife is successful. Not my wife, but like, you know what I mean? So yeah, give it a try. Give it a try.
That's super, absolutely. And I can say that I really appreciate the point about changing the narrative for what's commonly shown. While I was in LA once, I was pitching a series about this black kid who is quite brilliant, and then they asked me, is there any way that we can put his parents in Southside, in Compton? And I was like, no, that's not where he's from. He's originally from Ohio. And he was like, what's the black population of Ohio? And I was like, something like 32%. Like, why is that important? And he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, we don't think they'll connect unless his father was struggling. And I was just like, that kind of context is unfortunately so permissible within filmmaking. May I ask, in terms of the actors here, have you guys experienced anything? Obviously, the answer is yes, but anything that you'd like to speak on in terms of not strictly just bigotry, but just adversity that you've personally had to struggle through as BIPOC actors and creators in the space?
I do right away. With my first series I did, Selma Saxon, they told me right away, okay, you're a rookie of the year. You know, I have no acting education. Like, I come from the nightlife, like literally from the red light district, Amsterdam, to the red carpet, Cannes, within 3 years. It's insane. And everybody told me, like, yeah, you can only play the bad guy, I was like, okay, I'm gonna teach y'all wrong. And with this last production, funny enough, they wanted me with the cornrows. Yeah, you look like Snoop Dogg, you know, do the cornrows and show your tattoos and everything. And I refused. I showed up with my hair open. I was like, no tattoos. I want nerdy glasses and please give me a beard. Okay, they didn't give me the beard. You know, there's nothing wrong, unfortunately. But I look so freaking different that people didn't recognize me when I showed them pictures from the set. And that was, like, for me, very satisfying that I'm able to play with them, but also with my character and my personality. I mean, I can change my hair like a freaking chameleon, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was like something positive because they insisted. I refused, and it worked out perfectly.
Well, of course, I experienced a lot of things, but what just was crossing my mind was that wherever I go, which countries, because I love to travel, I meet people and I think I belong to them. But only in Germany, everybody thinks, okay, she can't be German. Was really like, oh, are you from India too, or Turkish? And so in Germany, when I play someone, of course, all the time it's about, okay, we have to find a story. Okay, why is she here in Germany? And things like this, how to explain. I had one cinema production where I had a sister. She was blonde and white and was Gita Flake. And we played siblings without explaining anything. And that was what I really loved about it. It was really fun. Yeah, so some things can change.
Yeah, I think one example in the NA space would have been the I think it was actually a fairly terrible film, but the Fantastic Four film, the one with Michael B. Jordan. They did the same thing where they chose not to divulge what they're just siblings, full stop. So I think that was really beautifully done. Now, in terms of production, I understand that you were both speaking about international projects as well as yourself. Can you speak about co-productions where it's gone extremely well, and co-productions where they've gone extremely poorly, and if you've seen a sort of consistency in either regards?
Well, this is my 4th year as a full working producer, so I only did one co-production, which still is going. It's the 2nd season of the German-Swiss series Davos, which is the most expensive German-Swiss co-production ever made, which is about 20 million. So it's a huge amount of responsibility, to say the last. And for me, it's really about keeping everyone on the funding part, and like especially the funding partners, happy when it comes to representation about their country and the narrative about their country, while also navigating the whole quota of shooting days, actors, and crew members. So I think for me, the biggest challenge is making sure that doesn't have a huge effect on the quality of the script itself, because it gets quite technical to say, okay, we have 10 shooting days in Germany, 10 in France, 10 in Switzerland, 10 in Austria, and then I go up to the authors and say, make a good story about that. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. And I feel myself navigating the co-production aspects when it comes to the, lack of creativity and lack of freedom when it comes to creativity. So I think that would be something that really is on my mind quite a lot when I just came out of a writer's room and they talked about the technicalities a lot. But I think when it comes to creating new narratives and joint forces, I see myself in co-production more and more, especially when it comes to international co-production, especially when it comes to African countries and German countries and vice versa, the funding situation. So yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges I'm living so far, I would say.
Yeah, sure. In terms of the co-production, you've mentioned the sort of, how to word this, the sort of boots on the ground effect of co-production. Is there any co-production that you feel breeds a sort of a added benefit to the stories you're telling? And does that come from a particular country, a particular region, or is it mostly the sort of Switzerland or Austria? So, because I can say that from my series that I'm eventually going to be making, it's going to be mostly shot in Germany, in the south of Germany, but for financial reasons, we're going to be using the forests of Austria, just because it makes sense. But I didn't particularly want to do that, and I'm wondering how much is sort of feasibility versus passion?
Well, when it comes to the budget I'm talking about, it's definitely more about feasibility than, I wouldn't say passion at all times, but most of the times. When it comes to a mid-budget feature film, I'm developing a feature film with a Haitian film crew. I think actually the German authors were learning so much about non-traditional ways of script writing. Because in Germany, as a scriptwriter or an author, you have quite a classical training. You go to film school and then you do a series and then you do a feature film and then maybe you do a cinema movie, something that runs in the cinema. But in Haiti, that's obviously a complete different story. So they come with different creative aspects, different ideas, and most of them are non-linear and very untraditional. And in my experience, the German authors were very much soaking everything up and learning, while the Haitian authors navigated the whole bureaucracy and co-production aspect. So definitely when it comes to the co-production creativity aspect of it, I think there was a lot of learning on the German side and a lot of admiration from the German film crew for the professionalism and the dedication they have to their job. So that was, in this particular project, my experience.
I don't know if anything from the director's perspective, if you have anything to speak on with regards to working in a co-production space or with production companies within Germany in terms of co-production?
Well, I haven't had any big co-productions yet. I had small co-productions, and it went pretty smoothly most of the time. So I was really happy to work with them. And coming back to the subject of having problems with, like racial stuff.
Oh, yes, please speak on it.
I definitely had some producers or streamers that were like trying to take advantage of my skin color, if that makes sense. Like, it's
Yes.
like, well, it's in, or it's like trendy now to use black directors or whatever. And I was always like, okay, I don't want to be like, I don't want you to work with me because I'm black. I want you to work with me because I'm good. That's the first thing. But of course, it's thanks. So it is necessary, of course, to I just don't want you to not work with me because I'm black. That's the yeah, that's some smaller experiences that I had. But on the other side, I'm really happy right now. I'm with I have to say this, of course. I'm really happy working with Wild Bunch and with the other company I'm
Give you a shout out, sure.
yet. No. Yes.
I think adding something to this, when it comes to co-production, what I experience is a huge underestimation of the co-production partner, maybe, which is in minorities. In my example, the Haitian or, for example, an African film company, because of the power structures when you work in Germany, which is in comparison to other countries quite loaded when it comes to governmental film support. There's always a hierarchy of we know it better than you and we can do it better than you because the education is better. But actually, the working with international teams, you realize quite quickly that the professionalism is not determined by money or education in this country, and that quite a lot of people are self-taught and self-sufficient. So I think what I always have to tell my German colleagues is to lose their German way of you have to have a diploma in everything, and you have to have a lot of money to pay for that diploma in order to actually be a good filmmaker. So getting off that high horse is one of the first steps to actually get together and seeing eye to eye, which is quite difficult when it comes to the co-production aspects, I think. So I feel that 100%.
I pretty much experienced. It's nice what you said, because I experience the same stuff with fellow actors, because I don't have an acting, how you say it, education background. Like, I started this from the get-go, and I can see that some fellow actors that paid a shitload of money to become an actor, they hate me for sitting here right now or being at Cannes last year. I won like the Grimme Prize 2 times in a row. Last year, 3 Palms in Cannes. And it kind of does things with people. But like you said, I take them off the high horse. You know what I mean? Like, if I can do it, we can all do it. You just have to believe in yourself and work with the right people, of course, and be a good actor.
Absolutely.
What just came in my mind, that I was talking to a caster and he was really excited. I was the only POC in the group, and he was like, well, what is good for you people, especially pointed on me, is that we have in a contract right now, in every series or TV movie, we have to take 1 POC, and then it's more diversity. And I'm like, but POC, we are so many, it doesn't make sense at all. And he was so happy about it and thought it's the best thing that could happen for us. 1 POC. So, yeah, I think there are more opinions just like this, but that was what I heard. And I'm like, yeah, just felt stuck for a moment, Yeah.
I can absolutely understand where you're coming from in terms of quotas and so on. I also wanted to briefly speak on what you discussed. Personally, I was working on I'm a screenwriter as well, as I mentioned, and I'm working on a film from India, but from the southern region, the Tamil region. And I am writing all of it. But I was told by the production team that they'll have to bring in a separate writer. And I was like, okay, co-writing, that's fine. But I was told that it may have to be story by me, because if they see my face or if they see the name Figueroa as the last name, they just won't show up. So it has to be an Indian name, an Indian face, at least to get them in, and then I can have credits and so on afterwards. So I've experienced it even from the production side of things.
Did they explain why?
That's how they explained it. They literally said they won't turn up if it doesn't have an Indian name in the creative space. Yeah.
Period.
That was her statement. Yes. I'm still making it. We're still moving forwards. I've said that it must be, written by and then two names rather than creator. But we'll see where it goes. It's not yet it's just in development. So we're not yet there. And I also wanted to speak on what you said. Now, I personally spent a fortune at London Film School, which I've enjoyed. I'm not going to, don't get me wrong. Yeah, sure. But I love what you said, because it's absolutely right. It's not about classes or certifications or diplomas. I embarrassingly have far too many degrees that have led me some places, but mostly whatever it took to lead me here. And I think that really it's about the journey that every individual filmmaker is on. And while I learned a great deal from London Film School, one of the key things that I heard is so simple from the president of it. He just said, creators create. It doesn't matter how it gets done. A finished project is success. So I think that honing that, there's no linear way of doing it. You just have to be snappy enough to get it done. So yeah, for sure.
100.
Yeah, for sure. Anyone have any last comments or so for you guys before we wrap up? Sorry. Any final comments before we wrap things up?
Thanks for having us.
Did you want to continue again? No, I wanted to ask Wesley, I didn't quite get, what do you do with Wild Bunch at the moment? A feature film, right?
Yes, I'm making a feature film. I will spill some beans.
Spill some beans.
It's about 4 kids going against a racist wing of the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I cannot tell more, but yeah. So we've been developing this since 1.5 years now. So yeah, and I'm also writing, and yeah.
But actually what I experience is a lot of Black filmmakers in Germany, when they do projects, they tend to do things about Black pain and trauma. And I'm always, of course, I know why we do that, and I know why we tend to do that, but is any one of you developing anything fun about the Black diasporic experience in Germany? Because I'm longing for it, and it's lacking.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to add to this, because I actually, that was my idea, making the story, and it's a little bit of a personal story too. Yeah. So there's a lot of background that I have add to the story. So it's like a lot that I went through. I just took it and I roll with it. So it's write what you know, right? So that's, I unfortunately I couldn't write a lawyer story or something like that. I wish I could. Maybe my son one day.
So the series that I mentioned previously, it's set in 1913, and it's in southern Germany. So it's German actors, and it's not strictly regarding diasporic on its face, but it's a magical system, and it's a sort of like the craft meets like a Harry Potter, and it's at an all-girls school. But the point is, the magic system isn't based in Latin as most magic systems are. It's based in Shona, the language of Zimbabwe. So it actually tells a sort of subtle story about the capture of culture and of beauty, and the exploitation through colonialism, which happened in so many places in Africa, of course, and how they've stolen, bastardized, and sort of changed what is that culture to fit their own narratives. So it reframes that around the concepts of magic, which is also an aspect of Afrofuturism, so as well. Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you about my next project as a screenwriter. So I'm just don't have a production company or anything. I'm just writing about it. So it's about a women's shelter, and it's not about a drama. It will be a comedy, because I want to change the narrative about women's shelter and about just see women as a victim when they left the husband. I want to see them as a fighter and a survivor. So it's really for me that I want to show things inside this shelter where they have fun together and find back to the power, you know? So that's my next
Absolutely.
project. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for your time, and thank you to the speakers. Thank you all.
Thank you.